Let's talk about the Create mod. It's a very useful mod and it's great for automation in farming. And then there's also other things that you can do with it, but we're not going to get into that right now. I have another video talking about that sort of stuff. This video is going to be focused on a few tips and tricks that I have jumbled around in my noggin that I felt like sharing with everyone. And the reason why I want to share with you guys is because I feel like Create can be somewhat difficult to get into. Or it could also be a little like unappealing due to the fact that if it's just vanilla and Create, then you might struggle getting the materials required for getting started, I suppose. My name is Cyrus, and let's get into it. For the first tip of this video, I'm going to be talking about getting your hands on andesite casings. So what most people would probably do is they'll chop down the tree, bring their logs somewhere else, strip them, and then right click all of the logs with the andesite alloy. But what I like to do is, before I even get to chopping the tree, I'll strip the log there and instantly right click it with the andesite alloy. This makes the process a little bit more enjoyable and less tedious, especially at the beginning. As you progress, you can automate this, of course. So once you finish setting that up, I have a leaf decay mod, I'm sorry. But anyways, once you finish stripping all those logs and applying the andesite casing, you could, if you have it, use your wrench to simply just pick it up and you barely waste any durability on an axe. For a second tip, it's going to involve trees again. But this time it's about collecting wood. So you might know that you can collect logs with the mechanical saw, but I'm sure some people probably don't know this yet. You can actually connect each tree with logs and it'll chop down multiple trees all at once. Just gotta wait for it to chop, and there we have it. Now for this third tip, I'm gonna have to tell you guys that this is probably something that you should aim for first, is to get a mechanical press and then get yourself the mechanical mixer plus a basin. You don't actually need the depot for the press. I just have it for the aesthetic of having it. But the reason you need the mechanical press is so that you can press 5 iron ingots into 5 iron sheets. And then with those 5 iron sheets, you're going to want to take 2 andesite alloy and place them in the crafting grid like this. And just make a little minecart shape with the iron sheets. And that'll give you the whisk. Now the whisk is important because it allows you to craft the mechanical mixer. And the reason I want you guys to get the mechanical mixer is because when you craft yourself andesite alloy, it takes 2 iron nuggets and 2 andesite. But if you were to use the mechanical mixer with the basin, it only takes 1 of each ingredient to produce a single andesite alloy. So ultimately, it is 100% better. like you save half the materials. Believe me, andesite alloy is something that you use for almost everything in Create. It is the essential building block to making these great machines. So for the fourth tip, I'm going to say it's pretty important to set up any build that you're making before you actually connect it up to your power source. So let's say that I'm building a cobblestone generator. I'm going to place down my drill without connecting it up to anything, just so that I can plan how I want to set this up. Now, as a bonus tip, I'm going to let you guys know that you can, in fact, waterlog a mechanical drill. Now, this would be useful in this situation because you can actually make a more compact version of a cobblestone generator like this. So I'm going to finish building this Create build. And as you can tell, it functions clearly. If I were to have had a more complex build and I had it connected to the power source, it could easily mess things up. And then for the final tip slash reassurance, because the super glue item itself is somewhat overwhelming for beginners because it requires 2 slime balls and it can be kind of hard to find the right chunk to actually get a hold of such an item. if you don't want to be looking at chunk base or anything like that. But Create actually has a recipe for slime balls that makes crafting slime balls a whole lot easier, so you don't actually need to touch a slime at all. Now this would involve lime green dye, which you can get from milling sea pickles or any tulip, and it also involves wheat, which you mill down into wheat flour, and then you can actually craft that into dough. Now it's easy to imagine that you could probably set up multiple farms for this. So you can set up a sea pickle farm and then a separate wheat farm that all feed into this sort of factory of a machine. But basically, at the very end, you can combine the dough with your lime dye, and that'll craft you a single slime ball, which would simplify the process of getting slime balls. That way you don't have to deal with mob spawns at all. So those were all of my tips for you guys. I hope you all enjoyed, and I cannot stress this enough. The last episode really popped off, especially compared to the other videos that I've ever uploaded. And I just wanted to say thank you to all the people who subscribed, to all the people who liked that video, and I really do appreciate all of the kind comments I received on that video. It was absolutely a blast to experience. I've never witnessed anything like that in my life. In fact, we actually gained about 36, 35 subscribers from that video. When I uploaded that video, it was only 5 people who had subscribed to me. And I'm blown away. I am genuinely blown away, and I'm so very appreciative of just all the support I got from that video. I'm gonna try to post 2 videos this week, this being the first, followed by my Let's Play episode. Yeah, thank you. Bye.